One golden thing I despise in this galaxy is headless chicken running rampant, spewing baloney to the endless void of the internet or amongst their friends and family. These conversations can include taint and tarnish to one's reputation, when that's not really necessary. If you're like me, you probably just watched Quiet on Set, the dark side of kids TV. I had planned to only watch 2 episodes on Friday night, but man, the production quality is so good and the narratives flow smoothly where you just can't stop watching. YouTube has already been on Dan Schneider's ass, and while I never previously watched any of the deep digs on this platform, it was enough to let me know that this man was suspicious. Quiet on Set showed me some weird shit like Ariana Grande squeezing a damn potato for juice, and inhumane Brian Peck pushing a pickle through a hole. That's honestly ridiculously funny. Like, why was that on a kid's program? The scene doesn't even include kids. Aside from the Dan Schneidery. The focus of episode 3 was Drake Bell's experience and the abuse he endured. Terms in the court proceedings were highlighted to give us a legalified detailing of what he went through. It was freaking disgusting and a complete shame. I grew up watching this guy and I couldn't believe my mind, my eyes, my brain, that this happened to him before Drake and Josh even aired. I literally said out loud, how did he remain so strong to carry out the show? In 2021, headlines were making waves and articles were being written on how Drake Bell was talking to a minor.
Drake went to jail for talking to little girls!
In episode 4, they briefly touched on the matter, but it wasn't enough. I felt as though more clarity on the subject could have been given because, believe it or not, folks, it's a matter that was blown out of proportion. And that is what I want to talk about today. What actually happened with Drake Bell in 2021? If it's really misinformation, why was he arrested? Why was he given a platform on the Quiet on Set documentary if he's just on par as a creep as the Nickelodeon Mafia? I'd like to thank you for taking the time to tap in and having an open mind. Let's kill misinformation. Before we get into the discussion, I want to say that we are going to use a source that our teachers would never let us use in school. We are only reading one section of his Wikipedia page, which, yes, is minimal effort, but it reciprocates the minimal effort needed to ingest bullshit. We are also going to read what's been cited in this section, titled Child Endangerment Conviction. With 8 separate citations, let's begin the skill of reading. In August 2020, his former girlfriend, Melissa Lingafeld, I think, alleged him of verbal and physical abuse during their 3-year relationship in the late 2000s. Lingafeld also accused Bell of inappropriate behavior regarding underage girls. Bell has denied the allegations. We've got ourselves a double whammy here, so let's start with citation 147, which leads us to a Daily Beast article. Now, I've taken the liberty of perusing this article, and it's definitely the most gossipy one we have today because it takes quotes from his ex-girlfriend a lot. I'm not going to be reading all of it, but everything's going to be down in the description. And you'll be seeing why I'm not reading all of this. Drake Bell's ex says she witnessed the Drake and Josh star preying on underage girls. Published on June 4th, 2021. On Thursday, Drake and Josh star Jared Drake Bell was arrested in Cleveland, Ohio, and charged with attempted child endangerment for allegedly sending sexual messages to a 15-year-old. The news came as a shock to many fans of the Nickelodeon sitcom, but was no surprise to Bell's ex-girlfriend, who came forward nearly a year ago with her own harrowing tale of abuse at the hands of the actor when she was an underage teen. Now, this is an article from 2021. The second citation we're going to be reading is from 2020, where he denies this, but here goes this article from 2021, rekindling a fuse. In a series of TikTok videos posted last August, Melissa Lingafeld, who dated Bell when she was 16 and he was 20, take that however you want, detailed how he emotionally and physically abused her over the course of their 3-year relationship, from 2006 to 2009. I don't even want to get into the underage girls thing, she concluded in the since deleted TikTok. I mean, I will, but I'm scared. And I think if you're making a very bold statement against somebody and you end up deleting it, then your word just holds no weight at the end of the day. It's a very coward move, and it shows that you go back on the things you're saying. Lingafeld was quickly lambasted by fans who demanded proof of the abuse and questioned why she was speaking out now. Last time I checked, abuse doesn't have an expiration date, she tells the Daily Beast. What a name, the Daily Beast. And then we see the freaking post has been removed. Earlier they said TikTok, this is Instagram, 2 sources deleted. However, the story quickly died down when Bell issued a statement claiming that he never abused Lingafeld and attempted to cast doubt on her motive for coming forward. But now Bell, 34, has a mugshot on charges that Lingafeld, 31, claims that she's observed firsthand. What he's being arrested for right now is a prime example of what I would witness. Him having inappropriate conversations online with underage girls, she says, claiming that she had seen him exchanging emails with extremely young girls. Bell, who moved to Mexico, changed his name to 𝙍𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁 and has been releasing music in Spanish. Yo, he didn't even move to Mexico and he didn't change his name, which immediately tells me that this source is not even digging deep into their information. This is wrong. That's fucking wrong, man. There's a bit more, but it's just very gossipy. She's just lashing out, and I don't want to take the time to read that. It may seem like I'm being dismissive about this situation, which is what happens to a lot of headline readers, but my mission objective here does not include the girlfriend, really. And there's a chance that she's telling a tall tale. Citation 148, where Bell denies the allegations, leads us to Variety, a much shorter, more concise reading. From August 12th, 2020, Drake Bell denies abuse allegations from ex-girlfriend Melissa 𝙍𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁𝙁. A representative for Bell gave the following statement to Variety, saying he never abused 𝙍𝙀𝙁 and is reviewing his legal options. I never abused my ex-girlfriend or did so many of the other things Melissa falsely claimed on her TikTok video. As our relationship ended more than a decade ago, we unfortunately both called each other terrible names, as often happens when couples are breaking up. But that is it. Clearly, Melissa still felt close enough to me just last year that she was comfortable reaching out to ask me to provide her with financial support during a rough time. Tough time, which I did. I do not know if today's behavior is some kind of misguided quest for more money or attention, but I cannot and will not allow these offensive and defamatory allegations to go unchallenged, and I'm reviewing my legal options. And as we scroll down here, we have a deleted Twitter post, and let's click it for proof. This page doesn't exist. So now we have a deleted TikTok post, Instagram, and Twitter post as well. None of them exist anymore. Drake allegedly has abused his ex-girlfriend and communicated with underage girls in the past. He has come out to say that that's all false and nonsense, and even stated that she has asked him for money. She has since deleted all her posts, and that's that on the ex-girlfriend. On June 4, 2021, Bell was arrested in Cleveland, Ohio on charges relating to attempted endangering of children and disseminating matter harmful to juveniles. Citation 8 leads us to ABC News 5 Cleveland. This article is rather short and can be summed up through its title, but let's check it out. Jared Bell from Nickelodeon's Drake and Josh indicted for crimes involving 15-year-old in 2017. Again, this article is from June 4th, 2021. Jared Bell, the Nickelodeon star who played Drake in the TV show Drake and Josh, has been indicted by a grand jury in the 𝙍𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁? The fuck you say that? 𝙍𝙀𝙁, let's fucking get it. In Cuyahoga County for alleged crimes involving a 15-year-old girl while he visited Cleveland, according to court records. Bell, 34 of West Hollywood, California, has been indicted on charges of attempted endangering children, a 4th-degree felony, and disseminating matter harmful to juveniles, a 1st-degree misdemeanor. According to court documents, the day of the offense was December 1st, 2017. Bell, who goes by 𝙍𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁𝙀, which again is not his fucking name, tweeted in October 2017 that he was coming to Cleveland's the Odeon to play on December 1st, 2017. That tweet was deleted today. Alright, he deleted a tweet, but it was about a show announcement, not a claim. In October 2018, the 15-year-old victim filed a report with her local police department in Canada regarding an incident that occurred between her and Bell in 2017 at a Cleveland nightclub on Old River Road in the city's east bank of the Flats district. She was 15, how was she in the nightclub? Canadian authorities contacted the Cleveland Division of Police, which conducted a subsequent investigation. Investigators determined the 15-year-old victim, who they say had established a relationship with Bell several years prior, attended his concert in 2017. While he was there, the prosecutor's office said he violated his duty of care and in doing so created a risk of harm to the victim. The prosecutor's office said the investigation revealed that in the months leading up to the concert, Bell sent the victim inappropriate social media messages. Bell was arraigned in the, Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas Thursday, where he pleaded not guilty to the charges and waived the reading of the indictment. A personal bond was set for $2,500. Terms of his bond included having no contact with the victim, and he must submit a DNA specimen, which are all standard procedures for defendants. Court records show Bell posted bond the same day as his arraignment. His first pre-trial has been scheduled for June 17 at 9 a.m. Now our saga is finally unfolding with this minor. To review, he was accused of crimes with a 15-year-old back in October of 2018, for which the crimes had occurred in December 2017. And the case was filed in Canada about a situation that happened in Cleveland, Ohio 10 months prior. This is the big dun 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 moment, but we still have 4 articles left to review. When I was skimming them, I noticed that the first, third, fourth, and fifth citation are all written within 24 hours of each other. Though separately cited, the next 2 articles share a lot of information of what I just read, so I won't be reading much from them. This again restates what we just read, but a public information officer with the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office said the 15-year-old victim, who had established a relationship with Bell several years prior, attended his concert in December 2017. While there, Bell violated his duty of care and in doing so created a risk of harm to the victim. The Cleveland police also found that Bell had sent the minor inappropriate social media messages for months leading up to the concert. Bell was 31 at the time of the alleged incident. Bell pleaded not guilty and was freed on a $2,500 personal bond and was ordered to provide a DNA sample. Citation 149 brings us to, funny enough, BuzzFeed News. There's nothing new here. I checked out the article, but I'll leave it in the description. Yeah. He agreed to have no contact with the accuser in the case with a pretrial hearing scheduled for June 23rd. We've got 2 citations here. I'll be reading a snippet of 150, which directs us to CBS News. It's the same regurgitated information as the last 2 citations, except we find out a hearing was scheduled for June 23rd and that his team was awaiting the courtroom to make statements as opposed to speaking to news outlets. All of these articles so far, except the second one, have been written on June 4th or June 5th. We are finally moving past that date and approaching the climax of the situation. What happens next? On June 23, Bell pleaded guilty to both charges. Citation 152 leads us to Deadline, showcasing an article from June 23rd. Now that's a little shocking, not gonna lie, but don't grab your pitchforks just yet because we still have 2 citations left after this one. There's not much information here to share as well. The title is pretty much the news, but let's dig something out. Actor Drake Bell pleads guilty in Ohio child endangerment case, sentencing set for July. This was written on June 23rd, 2021. He pleaded guilty via Zoom on Wednesday to a felony charge of attempting to endanger children and a misdemeanor charge of disseminating material harmful to juvenile. We've read this like 3 times. Sentencing was set for July 12th. He gave brief answers to a short series of questions, entering guilty pleas to one. We said that. The charges against Bell stem from a 2017 meeting between the then 31-year-old actor and a 15-year-old girl. He was in Cleveland to perform a concert. Police have not specified what occurred at the club, but say the meeting followed months of inappropriate social media messages and that the 2 had known one another for several years. All right, we've seen a lot of that, but I want to check out some comments. Plead guilty says it all. Just because he pled guilty doesn't mean he is guilty. With child cases like this, judges are more likely to side with the minor. Pleading guilty just ensures a lighter sentence. If he pled innocent but was found guilty, he could be in prison for 10 plus years instead of 2. It's not black and white all the time. Says what? He didn't do anything. Why did he plead guilty to a class 4 felony and class 1 misdemeanor if he didn't do anything? That seems to be an idiot thing to do, wouldn't you say? She lied about her age to meet him. When he found out he wanted to stop communication, she got mad and went to the cops. Who's at fault? Well, that's one smart guy in the comments. Let's move on to some fresh details. On July 12, 2021, Bell's accuser, then 19, made a public appearance and statement accusing him of sexually assaulting her while she was underage, in addition to the endangerment charges. She's just adding more fluff to the story now when it was just endangerment. And now there's sexual assault? Bell was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service, which he was permitted to complete in California. He also is not allowed to have any contact with his victim. How about that last line? He's not allowed to have any contact with his victim. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't even want to. Drake Bell's victim accused him of grooming, sexual assault during hearing. Read her statements. From July 12, 2021. The Drake and Josh alum was sentenced to 2 years probation and 200 hours of community service after pleading guilty. The sentencing was preceded by the victim's impact statement, during which she alleged that Bell groomed her from the age of 12 before sexually assaulting her when she was 15. Where was all this on the freaking June 4th and June 5th articles? Alright, we're still recording. Bell's attorney, Ian Friedman, said during the hearing that his client had accepted responsibility in this case via his plea. However, Friedman disputed the victim's claims that she and Bell had exchanged explicit photos, claiming there was no such evidence. Bell was not charged with sexual abuse, and his lawyer denied the victim's allegation that he had engaged in such abuse. Bell issued his own brief statement via Zoom to the judge on Monday. I accept this plea because my conduct was wrong, he said. I'm sorry that the victim was harmed in any way, but that was obviously not my intention. I have taken this matter very, very seriously. And again, I just want to apologize to her and anyone else who may have been affected by my actions. Tyler Sinclair, the public information officer of the Cuyahoga, told People on Monday that the Cleveland Police Department and this office did an extensive investigation into this matter. Numerous factors, including strength of the evidence, were weighed during our plea discussions with defense counsel. The victim was consulted throughout this process and approved of the final outcome. Now, she has a whole statement here, which I'm just gonna call it a fanfic. I don't wanna read it, but I think there's something really funny in here. I need to freaking find it, man. Okay, here we go. The reason that these particular instances did not result in any further than oral sex was because the defendant knew that I was menstruating at the time. Had I not been menstruating, then he would have raped me, to Bell over Zoom. Don't look at me like that. Continuing statement. Because he would tell me how badly he wanted to penetrate. I don't know where this video is at, where she was saying all this stuff, but I imagine he was probably baffled, like on some Johnny Depp reaction sort of thing, and probably gave her a look of disbelief. He started kissing me in the night, blah, 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 oral sex. My aunt was outside the room. She says something at the end of her statement that is just a cherry on top. Holy fuck, how much did she write? He is the epitome of evil. I deserve better to be used for his sick desires and for my suffering to be used for his entertainment. And here it is. Jared Drake Bell is a pedophile and that is his legacy. She is coming with his legacy with this long ass fanfiction statement. And that just goes to show that her intentions aren't pure, because she just wants to bring down his name, his work, his life, and his legacy. That statement makes it seem like it's not really about her and her health and safety, or her well-being for that matter, but to bring him down. As long as his legacy is shit, I win.
When I was younger, he was sweet and actually wanted to.
I found some footage and his reactions are perfect.
But at 15, he started sending me messages. He replied by telling me that he couldn't wait to see. This eventually led to many months of inappropriate messages and photos being exchanged. The photos exchanged included photos of my body and photos of his body and his genitals. On December 1st, 2017, he said that I wasn't little anymore and I was, quote, a woman now. When I was 15, I noticed a huge shift.
So there was no evidence whatsoever to support the claim that Drake is creepy or that 𝙎𝙀𝙁𝙀𝙁𝙀 did this and that. The Cleveland Police Department did a thorough investigation on Drake Bell, so he only got the 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service. No prison time. That should speak volumes. Let's move on to the final citation, my friends. Bell stated in a video explaining to his fans that he ceased texting his accuser when her age came to light, and that no images of a sexual matter were exchanged. He also clarified that he accepted a plea deal, stating, "I felt that this was the best way to get this over quickly and for everyone involved to be able to move on." Citation 156 leads us to NBC5 Chicago. Now this article's main focus is a video that Drake posted to Instagram 2.5 years ago, which hasn't been deleted. I do want to end with this Instagram post here, but if I'm being honest, I think my whole mission objective for this video could have been summarized and reduced down to this last citation here, as it's really all you needed to know at the end of the day. But before I let it play, let's dig into a few pointers that the article shares. Drake Bell addresses reckless and irresponsible text to minor. This was posted on September 17th, 2021. I'm laughing because as I'm realizing that the pointers, plural, that I wanted to share is really just one that comes at the end of the article. In a July 12th statement, Bell's attorney said, "Today's plea and sentence reflect conduct for which Mr. Bell did accept responsibility." The victim's allegations that went beyond that, which all parties agreed not only lack supporting evidence, but are contradicted by the facts learned through extensive investigation. As the court made clear, this plea was never about sexual misconduct or sexual relations with any person, let alone a minor. And with that, let's watch the video.
I'm Drake Bell, not Drake Campana. Soy Drake Bell, yo no soy Drake Campana. A lot of the news that you've been hearing, well, most of the news that you've heard recently is entirely false and wrong. And I feel that you deserve and I owe you an explanation. I didn't change my name, although I would love to. I've never moved to Mexico. I've never been a resident or a citizen of Mexico. I don't have a Mexican passport. I didn't get arrested. I didn't go to jail. I know that this has moved very quickly for you, but for me, it's been a 3-year thorough investigation into every false claim that has been made. And it's not me telling you that the claims are false, but the state of Ohio has proven the claims to be false. If these claims were remotely true, my situation would be very different. I would not be here at home with my wife and my son. But that being said, I'm not perfect, and I made mistakes. I responded to a fan whose age I didn't know. Yet when I became aware of their age, all conversation and communication stopped. And this individual continued to come to shows and pay for meet and greets, and all while I was unaware that this was the same person I was communicating with online. And that's what I pled guilty to. It was reckless and irresponsible text messages. I want to make clear that there were no sexual images, nothing physical between me and this individual. I was not charged with anything physical. I was not charged with disseminating of photographs or images or anything like that. This is strictly over text messages. And when I was presented with a plea deal, because of the messages, I felt that it was the best way to get this over quickly and for everybody involved to be able to move on and for me to get back to doing what I love, and that's making music for you. And I want to thank you for, to everyone who saw through the lies and did their research and looked at my case and saw it for what it was instead of through all of this media confusion. Don't believe the media right off the bat. It's a lot of clickbait. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. I want to for sticking by me, and I love you. And I will see you soon.
There we have it, folks. There we have it. Before I wrap this up, I just want to take a little scroll through his Instagram because I am very amused by the fact that he's blown up in Mexico. I was just on his page earlier and nobody was following him.
No, es que nunca estamos solos. Siempre estás con tus amigos.
Claro que no.
Ay.
Y tú siempre traes a tu hermana.
Pues porque somos gemelas. Hasta Drake tienes aquí.
That's not true.
What the hell?
I thought you would get it. Yo creo que lo sabes, pero mucha gente de este país, y yo me incluyo, pues yo crecí viéndote en la tele. Yo crecí viendo Drake y Josh.
Sí.
It's gonna take some time to realize, but if you look inside,
Dude, this man is loved and I freaking appreciate that so much. What the hell, brother?
Hola amigos de Azteca 1, feliz nuevo año.
Who is this man? Look at all these baddies he's got around him. What's going on? So there you have it. Like I said, I really do think his video there at the end is the be-all end-all for this whole discussion. But I think venturing through all the headlines and all the clickbait and the misinformation that were scattered on the internet made his video that much more effective. The idea of Drake equals bad is very easy to fall into if you're just soaking up the headlines. The only thing Drake Bell pleaded guilty to was, yes, he did respond to a fan. Regardless of their age, he did not deny communication. Once the fan's age came to light, he backed off and the fan turned to stand, came for him. Point blank defamation. And that is my part on this topic. I don't normally go documentary journalist, but I'm attracted to sharing the truth. And when I saw this topic wasn't expanded on the documentary, I took my chance. This wasn't a grand research video, but it does expand on minimal research one may not do themselves, presented in an audio and visual format for simple consumption. I actually respect and fuck with Drake a lot more after this, because watching the documentary Quiet on Set, he talked about how he loved old Hollywood and the old movies and just... So I'm able to relate to him in a way I didn't know would be possible. Go watch old movies. Yeah, but didn't he talk to little girls? I hate that shit, man. There might be another 2 episodes of Quiet on Set, but I don't know how real or accurate Google is. Dropping between April 5th and the 7th. Love what you like, my friends. Please protect your energy. And please, 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 don't jump to conclusions.